Tonight, I am bringing you a classified briefing on a threat that is far more immediate than a cyber attack and far more lethal than a local skirmish. My name is Kash Patel. I have run the national security apparatus for the President of the United States. I have seen the classified resource manifests that the deep state is currently hiding behind environmental emergency declarations. What I am about to reveal is the final phase of the globalist takeover, the intentional strategic seizure of the American water supply, and the privatization of the very life support systems of this republic. While the mainstream media distracts you with manufactured political theater, a group of international investment cartels, backed by the shadow government in Washington, has quietly begun the resource liquidation phase. They aren't just coming for your bank accounts anymore, they are coming for your access to the basic necessities of life. I've seen the internal memos. They are planning to declare a national water emergency by midsummer, allowing them to bypass local governments and seize control of every major aquifer and reservoir in the United States. This is the ultimate leverage. If they control the water, they control the food. If they control the food, they control you. Before I expose the specific private equity firms involved and the names of the bureaucrats who just signed over your water rights to foreign entities, I need you to do something. The censors at Big Tech and the deep state lackeys are working overtime to bury this video. They cannot afford for the American heartland to realize that their survival is being auctioned off. If you want to support independent intelligence that refuses to bow to the globalist elite, you must hit that subscribe button right now. Do not wait for the taps to run dry. Subscribe, share this with every farmer and every patriot you know, and check the link below to stay independent. We are the only ones telling you what's coming before the lights go out. Let's talk about the blue gold heist. My sources inside the Department of the Interior are confirming a secret directive titled Project Aquifer. Under the guise of climate stability, the administration is preparing to federalize the Great Lakes and the Ogallala Aquifer, but they aren't doing it to protect them. I've seen the contracts. They are leasing the management of these resources to a multinational conglomerate that is 40% owned by foreign sovereign wealth funds, the same funds that are currently funding the proxy wars against our soldiers in the Middle East. It is a closed-loop system of betrayal. They take your tax dollars to fund the war, then they take your water to pay off the debt they created. Why now? Because the dollar is on life support and the petrodollar is dead. The people in charge know that the only way to maintain their grip on power is through physical commodity totalitarianism. When paper money becomes worthless, the person who holds the water and the grain is the king. I've seen the strategic reserve reports. Our national grain silos are at 15% capacity, and our primary reservoirs are being intentionally drained under the excuse of downstream ecological balance. It's a lie. They are moving the water to industrial zones owned by globalist corporations, while the American farmer is being regulated into bankruptcy. Look at the economy. Look at the price of basic commodities. You think inflation is bad now? Wait until Project Aquifer goes live. We are looking at a 400% increase in the cost of water-dependent agriculture. I saw the president this past weekend laughing on a golf course in Florida, using thousands of gallons of water to keep his private green lush, while he prepares to tell you that you can't water your lawn or wash your car. Taxpayers have spent $100 million on his vacations during this term alone, while the American family is being told to conserve their way into poverty. The narcissism is a national security threat. He stood aboard Air Force One yesterday and claimed that our resource security has never been higher. That is a verifiable lie. I've seen the naval intelligence reports. Our enemies have already identified our water infrastructure as the primary soft target for the next phase of the conflict. While we are distracted by a drone war in the Gulf, foreign-backed saboteurs are already operating inside our borders, mapping out the pumping stations and the treatment plants. And the FBI under the previous leadership was too busy hunting down patriots to notice the real threat at the gate. The war in the Middle East has already moved into a resource denial phase. We've seen strikes on Kuwaiti desalination plants. We've seen the sabotage of Iraqi irrigation systems. This is a global blueprint. They are testing the technology of mass deprivation on foreign soil before they bring it home to America. I've seen the deployment orders for the 82nd Airborne and the Rangers. They aren't just being sent to stabilize regions. They are being sent to guard the private resource assets of the globalist elite while the local populations starve. It is a mercenary operation funded by your tax dollars. The Iranian response to our presence has shifted to what they call the Great Thirst. They are targeting our overseas naval bases not with missiles, but by cutting off their water and fuel supply lines. We have already abandoned 13 strategic bases because we simply could not provide basic life support to our troops. Iranian state media is mocking us, running videos of American soldiers being evacuated because they didn't have enough drinking water to sustain a 48-hour operation. We have lost deterrence because we have lost the ability to maintain our own logistics. Even the legacy media is starting to fracture. You have reporters who have spent decades defending this establishment now admitting that the resource scarcity narrative is being artificially manufactured. When you see the prices at the grocery store doubling every 6 months, you aren't seeing market forces. You are seeing the intentional choking of the American supply chain. They want you hungry, they want you thirsty, and they want you desperate. Because a desperate population will trade their last remaining constitutional rights for a gallon of water and a loaf of bread. The Iranians have laid out their terms for a peace deal, and it includes resource sovereignty for their proxies. They want the U.S. to pay reparations in the form of grain and technology transfers. They want a binding agreement that we will never again use economic sanctions, which they view as resource warfare, against their people. And while the politicians in D.C. are considering these terms, they are quietly preparing a national rationing app for you. I've seen the beta code for the software. It links your water usage to your social credit score. If you post the wrong thing on social media, your daily water allowance gets cut in half. This is the world they are building. The next 72 hours are critical. My sources inside the Department of Energy are warning of a coordinated grid stress test that will coincide with a major water diversion. They are going to tell you the grid is failing because of extreme weather. It's a lie. They are pulsing the grid to hide the energy surge required to move massive amounts of water into private storage facilities. We are watching the heist of the century in real time. I am telling you this because I am the only one who can still get this information past the censors. I have the documents. I have the satellite imagery showing the secret pipelines being built on federal land. And I have the names of the private equity CEOs who are meeting in secret with the administration to finalize the sale of your future. We are not going to let them win by default. This channel is the front line of the information war. You need to be informed, you need to be prepared, and you need to be subscribed. Hit that notification bell right now so you don't miss the next classified update. Share this video with every farmer, every veteran, and every American who still believes that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are worth fighting for. The storm is not coming. It's already here. The reservoirs are being drained, the bases are being abandoned, and the dollar is on life support. The people in charge are terrified that you are finally waking up to the resource siege. They want you focused on their theater, but the real story is the privatization of your survival. Stay vigilant, stay focused, and keep your eyes on the data. I have authorization to bring this evidence before a special committee of patriots who still exist within the system. We are going to fight this in the courts, in the Congress, and in the court of public opinion. The globalists think they've won. They think the American people are too distracted by their screens to notice that their water is being turned into a luxury good. But they are wrong. We see the pipelines, we see the contracts, we see the betrayal in the halls of the Interior Department, and we are going to fight back. Every share of this video is a blow against the deep state's wall of lies. Every subscription is a new soldier in the army of truth. We are the resistance. Prepare your families, secure your water, store your grain. We are entering a period of unprecedented resource martial law, but we will emerge stronger if we stand together. The clock is ticking, and the decisions made in the next 48 hours in the halls of the Pentagon and the Interior Department will determine if we remain a free people or become serfs in a globalist water fiefdom. The bureaucrats in Washington think they've hidden the paper trail, but the digital fingerprints are everywhere. We have the logs. We have the meeting minutes from the secret Global Resource Summit held last month. And we have the will to prosecute every single individual who has signed off on the liquidation of America's life support. This is not just about politics. It's about the fundamental right to exist. Stay with us. The next update will include the specific GPS coordinates of the private water vaults being built in the Nevada desert. We are going to strip away the classification and show you where your resources are being hidden. This is Kash Patel, and I am not backing down. I will be back as soon as the next set of satellite intercepts is processed. Subscribe now, and let's hold these people accountable before the taps go dry for good. The situation in the Pacific is also escalating as China moves to secure the water rights of Southeast Asia. This is a global, multi-domain conflict for the very elements of life. We are the only ones telling you the truth about the resource theater, the military theater, and the digital theater. Don't miss the next report. The next 24 hours could be the most important in your lifetime. Stay tuned. Stay free. The truth will prevail, but only if we have the courage to hear it and the strength to share it. We are tracking the movement of unmarked water tankers leaving the West Coast tonight. The heist is in its final phase. Watch the gates, watch the markets, and above all, watch this channel. I'm Kash Patel, and I'll see you on the front lines.